Don't get me wrong, I hate e-girls as much as most people do, if not more. But sometimes you've got to give credit to people who are able to finesse the fuck out of people as well as make thousands of dollars while doing something that requires minimal effort. And one such person is Belle Delphine. Belle Delphine has literally managed to make a brand out of just rolling her eyes to the back of her head and sticking her tongue out. She makes thousands of dollars just from her Patreon alone, and I don't even think she posts nudes on there. All she does is post semi-lewd photos, and the reason why I don't think she posts nudes on there is because she has a $50 tier for a premium Snapchat, where I assume then she posts nude pictures of herself. I don't really know, but for $50 a month, she better. I mean, Jesus Christ. And that's $50 monthly, not just a one-time fee. She changes her Snapchat every month just so that you have to continuously pay $50 for it, which is insane. And she has around like 3,000 or so patrons, so she's bare minimum making $3,000 a month. Probably way more than that, considering I'm sure there's hundreds of people who are paying the $50 a month just for her Snapchat, which is crazy. So, I mean, I gotta give her respect. She's making thousands upon thousands of dollars just from taking pictures of herself. Now, I didn't always respect Belle Delphine. I used to think she was just like all the other e-girls, but recently I figured out that she's way more than just that. She's not only a troll, but quite frankly, a god, cause she's doing some crazy stuff. So, what made me change my opinion about her was her most recent Pornhub troll, which basically, if you don't know what I'm talking about, she made this Instagram post that was captioned with something along the lines of, "If this post gets 1 million likes, I'll make a Pornhub account." So the post obviously got way more than 1 million likes, so she made the account. And she posted a ton of videos on the account with very stereotypical Pornhub titles. The problem is, or the troll, was she took these titles very literally. So there was this one that was like, Belle Delphine squirts all over the place, and instead of it being porn, it was just her squirting like a bottle all over the place. And another one was of PewDiePie is inside of me, and she literally just ate a piece of paper with PewDiePie on it. And my favorite one was this one that was titled something along the lines of like, Belle Delphine takes 2 cocks or something. And she literally had 2 cocks, like 2 roosters with her. And I just thought it was hilarious. Like, that alone was funny to me. The effort that she put in just to troll her fans. I mean, you gotta give her credit for that. She didn't just, like, do some bullshit. Like, she really put the work in just to make these videos. So, that alone earns my respect. But on top of that, her fans reacted in the most hilarious way possible. So many of them were actually mad and livid with her that she trolled them. There were so many people commenting on her Instagram, some crazy stuff like, "You broke our hearts! How dare you mess with us! You don't deserve our support! Belle Delphine is cancelled! We can't support this whore anymore," which is so ironic because so many people were calling her a whore and stuff like that for not making porn videos. Like, okay, that makes sense. And it was just hilarious. I'm sure some of the comments were just people trolling as well, but I know for a fact that another half of those comments were genuine and real hurt fans, which was just too funny to me. Like, I can't imagine being that mad at someone for not fucking some random dudes on camera. Like, that is just next level deluded, but whatever. So I thought that was hilarious, but it doesn't stop there for Belle Delphine. She has fucked with her fans in so many ways, and she's just milking them for all they're worth. And you know, some people might see it as kind of manipulative or whatever, or bad that she's treating her fans like this, but I don't feel bad whatsoever for her fans. I mean, I don't feel bad for any e-girl fans because they're all creepy and losers. I mean, they kind of deserve it. But I especially do not feel bad for Belle Delphine's fans because they are the worst of the worst. And what I mean by this is you have to consider who Belle Delphine's target audience is and what character she's trying to portray. Belle Delphine basically pretends to be someone who looks really young. I mean, she doesn't like outright pretend to be a little kid, but she definitely alludes to it and appears like it. And on top of that, she's known for her signature, like rolling her eyes to the back of her head and sticking her tongue out, which is something that's associated with anime. So basically, a lot of her fans are just weebs that are kind of pedophilic. So basically, they're the worst of the worst, and they're lowlives, and they definitely deserve to be trolled, and that's why I don't feel any pity towards them, and that's why I find it extra funny the way she fucks with them, and also the way that they reacted was a clear sign that a lot of her fans are the worst, and a lot of them are kind of incels and just, low lives. So that's why I find it extra funny the way she messes with them. But most recently, she has done something that I think is just crazy and only she could do it. And basically, she sold this product that's called Girl Gamer Bathwater, and it's literally just water bottled up in this tiny container. The container is probably the size of like a urine cup that you would get at the doctor, and it's what the title says. It's literally just bath water, which may or may not have touched Belle Delphine, and she sold it for $30. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was funny, and on top of that, I knew that there was gonna be at least like 100 losers who were willing to pay $30 just for water that may or may not have touched Belle Delphine's coochie at one point. Which is just hilarious. Like, I can't imagine being that pathetic for a woman's touch that you are willing to buy water that may have touched her. That's just next level. But to my shock, I didn't even expect this. It literally sold out. Now, I have no clue how many she actually sold or were available, but the fact that it sold out is insane. People are actually willing to pay $30 for a little jar of water that probably didn't even touch her. I would not be surprised if this water is literally just from the faucet and she never even had any contact with it. I mean, we're talking about the girl who put all this effort in to troll them on Pornhub. I would not be surprised if she's trolling them again with this water. And regardless, even if it did touch her and even if it was bath water, it's still funny and it's still definitely a ripoff. I mean, she's making hundreds of dollars just from taking a bath, basically. So honestly, she's my inspiration. I mean, she might not be turning water into wine, but she's turning bath water into thousands of dollars, which honestly, that's a lot more useful in my opinion. So that's why I think she's basically a god. I mean, Jesus Christ, she is the best at finessing for sure. I have never seen any other e-girl be able to get away with the stuff that she's done and make so much money from doing something that requires so little effort that all I can do is give her my respect, honestly. I mean, hate the game, don't hate the player. That's number one. I have nothing but respect for Belle Delphine, and I think it's hilarious the way that she's been able to troll her fans and also milk them for all they're worth, because like I said, her fans are the worst of the worst. I wouldn't recommend feeling bad for them, especially because they're willing participants. They're not victims. If they're willing to pay $50 for her Snapchat and $30 for some water, that's on them, and I'm just gonna laugh and think it's hilarious. So, yeah, that's why I think Belle Delphine is the best, a god, amazing, all of that shit. She has my respect. And yeah, that about does it. If you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. Also, comment down below, what do you think about Belle Delphine? Do you think she's just another e-girl? Or do you think she's much more than that and is the master of finessing like I do? And yeah, I'll see you all next time.